Welcome back to Tipping Point. I'm your host, Kara McKinney. Children raised in conservative households often have better relationships with their parents and therefore better mental health than their peers raised in very liberal households. Now, that's the kind of headline that either sounds, depending on who's listening, like political, self-confirming pseudoscience, or like something that is so common sense you're wondering why there even needed to be a study proving the obvious. Since I'm pretty sure most of you watching tonight are in the second camp, meaning you're conservative yourself, it's so good to get empirical confirmation of what we already intuitively understand to be true, given what we see and experience around us. So these figures were published at the Institute for Family Studies by the principal economist at Gallup. In an internally funded study, Jonathan Rothwell was able to pore over data collected from a survey of over 6,600 parents and over 1,500 teenagers. In a thread summarizing his key findings, Rothwell writes, quote, "Warm/responsive plus disciplined/authoritative parenting predicts the highest quality relationships between parents and children. Parent-child relationship quality is very closely related to the mental health of children. Indeed, it is far more important than everything else we measured: race/ethnicity, socioeconomic status, activities, time spent on social media, attitudes toward school and peers, and personality traits. Socioeconomic status does not predict parenting practices or relationship quality, but four things do. 1. A strong spousal/co-parent relationship, most important. 2. Conservative political attitudes. 3. A happy/secure childhood for parents. And 4. Pro-marriage attitudes," end quote. As to why Rothwell specifically highlights conservative parents over liberal parents, he says that is because conservative parents are more likely to be engaged parents that are warm and responsive, but who also set healthy boundaries and discipline for their kids, whereas liberal parents are more likely to lack in the discipline aspect, even if they're very warm and attentive parents. Rothwell also expands on some of his other findings, writing, quote, "Aside from political ideology, parents who think highly of marriage by disagreeing that it is an outdated institution and agreeing that it improves the quality of relationships by strengthening commitment exhibit better parenting practices and have a higher quality relationship with their teens. Parents who wish for their own children to get married someday also tend to be more effective parents. Those who embrace a pro-marriage view in all three have the best outcomes. Other relationships seem to affect the current child-parent relationship. Parents who give high ratings to their relationship with their spouse or romantic partner are also more likely to adopt best practice parenting strategies and enjoy higher quality relationships with their teens," end quote. This brings to mind how no-fault divorce did more damage to marriage than perhaps anything else. It stole the heart of marriage and redefined it into a contract for just adult fulfillment, setting the playing field for the left to come in and just swap the number of adults wanting fulfillment or the sexes of the adults involved. Our next guest tonight did a great job bringing this to light in a recent interview as he runs for office.
Ronald Reagan was the first one to bring no-fault divorce, and he then later said, whenever he was a governor of California, later he said that no-fault divorce was the worst thing that he had ever done in his political career, and from it caused all the degradation of families and our society. So, you know, I'm leaning towards where Ronald Reagan was, and where that actually is for protection of women and for protection of families and children and husbands as well. So it has been proven to be one of the strongest things to buttress a society. A strong family is going to build, is the bedrock for a strong and thriving government.
Which is true, but you cannot mandate a strong family. You cannot mandate morals. So how is that going to work with your platform?
Yeah, so I mean, I think it's interesting to think, can you mandate morals? Well, that's the only thing you can do. Our government only mandates morals. There's not, every law has to do with something that's right or wrong. So morality is built into the system. It's just a choice of whose morality.
Joining us now to discuss is the man himself, Dusty Devers, a candidate for State Senate District 32 in Oklahoma. Dusty, thanks for being here tonight.
Hey, thanks for having me, Kara.
Great. So it was so powerful what you said there on morality, because it seems to me that people only say you can't legislate morality when they want their specific vice left alone. Because as you point out, all laws are based on morality.
Yeah, that's true. It's always a question of which god of the system